So I don't really know how to start this conversation, and it's going to be awkward. It's man, you know, it's the equivalent almost like somebody takes you out for a date, right? It's like a first date, and that would be YouTube, and they would, you know, say to you that don't worry that you know they're going to pay for the meal and they're going to show you a really good time. You can trust them, and then at the very end, when the waiter shows up with the bill, they disappear. And for those of you that think during the 4 months of monetization, that we got paid through any of that. No, the bill kept on going up very slowly, you know, maybe 30 cents a day or whatever. Mm-hmm. But eventually we're almost at $80.
Yeah, just enough that they're almost going to pay us.
Yeah, I think it's $100 before they finally pay out when it comes to something like this. And that's when we get the Dear John letter about a couple of days ago, indicating that we offered inauthentic material and we were in violation of the YouTube partner practices or something like that. Yeah. And here we are. And so since this decision is probably going to affect the channel, we want to give you something that we believe YouTube didn't give us, which is an explanation. And I'm going to post in this video some of the responses, the generic bullet point responses that we were given. Nothing concrete as to what exactly we did wrong. But I have my theories, and we're probably going to go over some of those today as to what I and hopefully Lize-Mari believe transpired with all this. And, you know, I've got my theories, like, for instance, when it comes to, you know, a lot of angry commenters, trollers that indicate that we're spreading a false doctrine, right? A lot of people that hate the Urantia Book. And it's funny because I have a lot of commenters every once in a while that will indicate, you know, Adam, if the Urantia revelation is such a great thing, how come more people don't know about it? And here we are. So not only do, you know, angry commenters eventually report channels such as my own, which probably flagged this account a few times, at least with YouTube, but also I can only imagine the workers that have to review these cases and their religious affiliations. So it could be a lot of things, or it could be just the algorithm, right? The AI bot, which they rely heavily on, I'm sure, giving them bad information. But part of this this flag, this inauthentic content, I read, you know, briefly what, you know, some of these bullet points were, and, you know, it has to do with material that's repetitive and doesn't offer educational value to our viewers, which, you know, for those of you that have watched the channel, especially my long content, usually I try to combine both the Urantia Book and psychology. So hopefully, you know, you guys agree that I'm giving you something when it comes to some type of value that keeps you coming back. So I want to apologize. This is something beyond our control. We tried appealing, and we're going to show you that Dear John response letter to that as well. So things are going to change, but I definitely want to give Lize-Mari a chance to give her thoughts and feelings on what's going on. I'm a little upset right now, so I'm probably ranting a little bit.
We've tried so hard. We've tried different things. We worked really hard on the subtitles. We just started doing burnt-in captions, trying to make it more entertaining.
That was a big one. And especially, we use an AI bot to kind of translate what we're saying, the audio take, and then makes words out of it. But it's constantly wrong. Like, Urantia isn't a real word. Urantia, right? Like the Urantia soul, isn't a real word. So we're constantly having to edit all of this.
Yeah, it's very rough.
Right.
It's very rough edit. We're spending a lot of hours going through the transcript, making sure it's coherent and makes sense and the words are correct. And I don't know. I have no words. I have no idea why we got flagged or demonetized. Yeah. It makes no sense to us.
We've been spending actually a little bit more money on the channel, more time. We have various services that we use from Kling. We used vidIQ for a month, even though I really didn't like that service.
Opus Clip for the shorts.
Opus Clip for the shorts. I mean, we've poured a lot of money into this in this channel, this experience for you guys. A lot of man and woman hours.
Yeah.
And here we are, not a penny to show for it, not a red cent.
Nope.
So, which is fine. Again, this is always going to be a volunteer channel, but it would be nice to pay off some of these subscriptions that we have.
Yeah, that was ultimately your goal.
So, needless to say, this does change a few things when it comes to the channel. The channel is not going away. Don't worry about that. But we're no longer trying to serve the YouTube, gods, so to speak, right? We're not worried about viewable hours. We're just going to try to provide the best content we can. Which pretty much means that, we're not going to spend as much time when it comes to trying to put out, additional content, trying to serve that algorithm, right? And, maybe YouTube has a little bit of a point because we're trying to put out weekly content that was constantly trying to remind new viewers of things like who thought adjusters were, right? Midwayers. Just because that's the number one comment I get all the time is, Adam, what the heck are you talking about, right? I'm new to the channel. Is this not a channel about the Bible, the Holy Bible? No, it's not. In order to kind of remind viewers what we're talking about, I constantly have to give definitions definitions and explanations
Yeah.
as to these topics, right? Which could have triggered this whole algorithm, which
I don't
which is the
know.
whole reason I believe why YouTube would have a human process behind this in the first place.
Exactly.
But here we are. And so, don't get me wrong. I expected something like this to come one day, but I really thought it would be like a strike. Would be,
I know.
It would be something like, one of 3
A
strikes.
warning, something.
Yeah.
Not just out of the blue. Oh, you're done for.
And quite frankly, everybody, I understand, for those of you that know YouTube pretty well, we could reapply after losing all that money, I'm sure. Reapply, and we're just within the confines of probably getting it again when it comes to remonetizing. But why go through that? 4 months later, is something else happening like this?
Yeah.
I don't think my stress could take it.
There's only so much like content in the Urantia book. Eventually, you're gonna, like you said, repeat something again.
It's inevitable, right? And so what I offer is almost like teaching sessions on the Urantia book. It's a single book, right? Even though I draw from psychology on rare occasions from other religious texts as well. But majorly it is on the Urantia book. So that's about 1 million words, right? Eventually we're going to be recycling some of these topics like planetary princes and ancients of days, and especially considering the fact that the channel is so niche.
It is.
You think that that's something that YouTube would be happy about, that there are a few channels that cover, these missing gaps. And quite frankly, I want to do a quick shout out to the Urantia Foundation and also the Urantia Book Fellowship, just because they've been really supportive. When it comes to the, what was it called? 1 second. I gotta look this up. At least if you want to fill in for a second when I'm doing this.
And we support
Sing and dance. Sing and dance. Give them a show. All right, so it's Friends of the Urantia Book Fellowship. So I'm going to show you a little reel on that. And typically this is one of many sources that allows me to post my material in their group forums. And so the Friends of the Urantia Book Fellowship have been phenomenal. They've been so supportive when it comes to a lot of my content. So it's not from the source. I'm not getting blocked from either the Urantia Book or the Urantia Book Fellowship. They've been nothing but supportive. It's just, again, I'm guessing maybe like sponsors that don't like the fact that this is a specific religious channel or religious material.
Yeah.
So.
And we value everybody that's been watching, all the loyal subscribers, people that have been commenting, giving us words of encouragement. It really has been keeping us going, and it will keep us going.
Yeah.
So.
And as a friendly reminder, for these people that weren't doing that, right? We're doing the exact opposite. That's part of the algorithm too. I'm sure these are minor strikes when somebody complains about the content, that it's fake or, it's made up, or, I'm not citing the material properly because, again, to them, the Urantia book isn't a real text. And especially, there's ways to flag channels too. So I'm sure that's happened to my channel as well with angry people that truly believe that the Urantia book shouldn't exist in the first place. So
There's a lot of things going against us.
So a few thoughts in our minds, which is probably going to happen. Right now, we're going to be reducing the amount of video releases just twice per month, right? So every other week, you're still going to get a new video from us. And then I'm really toying with the fact of getting rid of shorts. Sometimes my life is like it's ruined just by answering short commenting.
Yeah.
Or answering short commenters.
Yeah, it seems like the shorts take things out of context.
Yeah, like, people that watch like a 30-second short video want a full explanation as to who the thought adjuster is or the Urantia book, and I just don't have the time to do it.
Yeah,
And
those are supposed to point you to the long form videos.
It's just supposed to be for new subscribers, but unfortunately, it seems like a lot of my returning subscribers really like that short content, which I'm thrilled that you love that, but again, it never gives enough context for new viewers, and especially viewers that are trying to split hairs.
Yeah.
I think it's really frustrating. And especially that actually hurts the long algorithm, right? Historically.
Yeah, and people seem to go on rants,
Yeah.
especially on the shorts.
So the more people that watch the shorts, the less people that watch the longs. And that could have been another thing that triggered this whole audit thing in the first place as well, since less people are watching my long video and more people are watching my short videos, and that was hurting their algorithm, right? And here we are.
Again, that was just our trying to experiment, trying to provide more content, making things more interesting, more unique, and adding things.
And hoping that the channel would sustain itself. All this equipment isn't cheap. All these subscriptions aren't cheap. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen, which is fine. This has always been planned as a volunteer channel. But you guys need to know what happened, and you deserve an answer, and we apologize. We're still going to offer you some great content. It's just going to be reduced for our own sanity's sake. So
Okay. Guys can bear with us. I think that's about it. That's all we wanted to say. We just wanted to come in here and give you an update and an explanation.
yeah, and we couldn't be sorry enough for what happened, what transpired. And of course, when people see that we're not monetized anymore, for the people that really research channels, that's going to take away from our credibility. And we're completely aware of that. But at the same time, we want to have no masters when it comes to what we provide when it comes to content, what we think is the right thing to offer you guys.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
all right, so until the next episode. So at least right now, this coming weekend, the Moira video, I believe it is, that's still going to air on time just because there's a few viewers that are really looking forward to that video. And then after that, we're going to probably go to bi-weekly or twice per month frequency. So. And at least right now, because I still paid for the Opus Clip subscription, we're going to still be releasing shorts, even though I really hate doing that. And quite frankly, I'm kind of upset because since we're putting burnt end captions on the long content, Opus Clip isn't removing those or masking those. So it's like a burnt end caption over a burnt end caption. So at least for now, up until I exhaust the subscription, you're going to see that. But I'm going to try to have like a white background on the secondary burnt end captions or the overlay. Which will hopefully make that better for everyone.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, sorry for the bad news. We're going to keep on chugging along. Not surprised that this happened. And see you on the next video.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.